from Kern Government Television. Welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting. Originating from the County Administrative Center, located at 1115 Truxton Avenue in Bakersfield, California. Grounded in ideas, energy, and innovation, Kern County's vision is to be a driving force for the world's fifth largest economy. And our mission is to exceed expectations of the communities we serve, changing the way they feel about government, those who manage it, and the services it provides. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Okay, welcome back to the 2 p.m. session of the regular meeting of the Board of Supervisors on Tuesday, June 18th, 2024. First item is roll call.
Supervisor Peters.
Here.
Supervisor Scrivener. Supervisor Flores.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez.
Here.
Thank you. The next item is a report on actions taken in closed session. Ms. Raison, can you do that for us?
Certainly. Good afternoon. This morning you met in closed session on items 76 through 82. 76 was continued until the end of this afternoon's session, and you'll reconvene in closed session at that time. And for items 77 and 82, there is no reportable action.
Okay, thank you. The next item is the consent agenda. All items listed with CA or C above the item number considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. We can act on those all in one motion. We have 43 items on the agenda today. Every item is on the consent agenda except 1, 2, 29, and 30. And the agenda consists of those 43 items on pages 2 through 9 of the PM agenda. I need to make a couple of changes or read a couple of things into the record. On items 10 and 12, the recommended action, which is in all caps after the item, should be changed to continue to Tuesday, June 25th at 2 p.m. That's for both items 10 and 12, same recommended action. And for item 3, I think we have a change in the recommended action, which is in all caps, and I'm going to go to Ms. Oviatt to tell us what that is, and maybe an additional condition as well, or conditions.
Thank you, Chairman Couch. Mm-hmm. This is a proposal by the Kernville Chamber of Commerce to create a community dog park. We have identified a redundant condition. Given that this is a community group, we want to be sure that we are only conditioning for what we need. So we've given you an addendum to delete portion of 5B1, which is shown as a strikeout. The recommended condition to remain on consent, recommendation to remain on consent is adopt resolution, recommended findings, and enact ordinance approving the zone changes requested, adopt resolution and recommended findings, approving the conditional use permit in accordance with the revised recommended conditions.
Okay, just adding the word revised, okay? So, is there anyone here that would like to make any item or ask any questions about the consent agenda items that I just read off? Mr. McLean.
Good afternoon, trustees.
Afternoon.
I have a question and a comment on item number 27. I don't have a problem with the contribution to the Mothers Against Gang Violence. They did a decent, real good presentation this morning. The second half of that is donating $2,500 to support education to Greenfield School District. Did you know that superintendent gave him $100,000? He gave himself a $100,000 a raise this year. He wrote a check. He increased his pay $100,000 a year, and that's a small school district, less than 10,000. So I feel that's out of hand there. If they can afford to pay him $100,000 a year, they can sure as hell contribute $2,500. That's just common sense. So can somebody elaborate on that, please? Or if you can. If not,
I got you.
I'll swallow it.
Okay.
May I, Chairman?
Certainly.
Mr. McLean, thank you for that information. I was not aware of that, and I am going to look into it, and I am going to follow up with you on that. As it's related to these matters, these were specific to fifth grade graduates for something they would not otherwise get. The budget doesn't have it. I appreciate
Okay.
your original point, and I'm very
Okay.
curious about it.
Well,
So I'm going to look
into
at it.
It's on, the local news. There's a big write-up there. And the sad thing about it, the faculty didn't get squat. And they're all complaining too. They do a lot of the work, the teachers and stuff, and he just, signed a check or, approved a raise, and I don't believe that's fair for anybody.
I'm going to follow up with you on that matter.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you, Dennis. These funds are for graduates moving on for a pizza and movie party for them, which we do customary every year. But
Understood.
my apologies for any confusion. Thank you. And Dennis, I'll follow up with you.
Anyone else have a question or a comment about any of the consent calendar items? If we have none, I'll return to the board for a motion on the consent calendar.
Motion on consent.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved, 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Scrivener.
Thank you. That takes us back to item 1, public presentations at the top of page 2. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to address the board on any matter not on the agenda but under the jurisdiction of the board. We try to keep our comments to 2 minutes. Welcome, Mr. Robles.
Good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Ralph Robles, R-O-B-L-E-S. I am a veteran. And we have been having so much news on coming out from one side of the country to the other on the Dominion voting machines. And I came across this one on the voting machines in Puerto Rico that I'd love to share with you if I may. Time for a replay. This is from an old presentation given by the concerned citizens. The Kern vote website, which we rely on to update the registered voter count, showed a disturbing trend in January. The registered voter count increased by 54,000, only to decrease by 53,000 2 weeks later. This is a significant fluctuation. It is equivalent to the size of Delano. It is not just a statistical anomaly, it's a red flag that demands immediate attention. What could have caused such a drastic change so close to the primary election? Ensuring the accuracy of the voter roll is not just important, it's critical for the integrity of the electoral process. We cannot afford to overlook this. We need to know the specific measures the Elections Department implemented to verify the correctness of the voter roll. When vote by mail, ballots are mandated. Further, what proactive steps were taken to guarantee accuracy before the distribution of the VBM ballots? Amy's admission that she is unfamiliar with the details of Kern's EMS is deeply concerning, given her tenure as the assistant ROV. This situation is not just a cause for concern, it demands immediate action to ensure the accuracy of our voter roll. The NVRA requires regular voter registration data maintenance to safeguard the integrity of our election outcomes. Folks, we brought this to you months ago. We have had no response. What up with that?
Thank you, Mr. Robles. Well.
Good afternoon.
Good
How are you?
afternoon. Good. How are you doing?
Good to see everybody. I'm not here to talk about the Dominion machines. I am here to talk about election integrity. If you want to know about the Dominion machines, you can talk to the people in Costa Rica right now. What I am concerned about is exactly what, yes?
We all know you, but we need you to state your name for the
Sure,
record.
Terry Maxwell.
Thank you.
Concerning the voter rolls, I'm going to go after the low-hanging fruit. This should be easy stuff. It really should. DMV and any of the federal government agencies are signing people up for voting. It's not their responsibility, really, to check whether that person is a citizen of the United States of America. However, both the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of California requires that people who vote in our elections are citizens of the United States of America. So who does that fall on? Should it not fall on Amy Espinosa? Is there not, if you just took the last 6 years of people who have registered and maybe unregistered, looked at those people who have registered and cross-referenced that with something in the data banks to tell whether that person is either a citizen or not? Should be a pretty easy and simple and fast way of telling whether somebody is a citizen and has the right to vote. If that person does not have the right to vote, Ms. Espinosa does have the right to tell them they cannot vote, and they would not ever even receive a ballot because they would have to be removed. And it is her responsibility to do that. I would ask that this be pointed out to her. I have more thoughts on that, but it seems to me that this might be the solution that we've all been looking for as far as the people who are voting in our elections that should not be voting. It should be pretty simple to find out that those two databases, 6 years of people voting in our elections that registered during that time, and whether those people were actual citizens or not. But I would also request that this board ask Amy Espinosa to every week come in and give an update on what has been done in the last week to ensure that our voter rolls have been reviewed and have been cleaned up. That's low-hanging fruit for you, it's low-hanging fruit for her. But we as the citizens are concerned about these elections coming up, and we want to make sure that only the citizens, because of the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of California, are the ones that are voting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question for Terry. Okay,
Terry?
That's okay. Terry, I have a
Supervisor
question.
Perez has a question.
Sorry, Chairman.
No problem.
Good to see you, Terry. Good
Good
afternoon.
to see you.
Are you aware of any efforts to register non-citizens or maybe some accidental registrations or any category of registrations of people who are not authorized to vote in our elections? Are you aware of any of that in terms of registration or separately and voting?
I think anybody with any intelligence knows that if the person goes into the DMV and is never asked as to whether they're a citizen or not, but are encouraged to register to vote, are probably not registering to vote as citizens, but registering to vote simply because they've been asked. That you can go to the DMV and ask people who work there, and they will, in a private meeting with you, and one where you cannot divulge their name, will admit that that's exactly what's going on. I can anecdotally tell you that there are people who live in Arvin, and actually in all of the communities of Bakersfield, that tell me that there are examples of people who are coming in, getting registered, and once they get their mailed out vote, they are paid cash in order for a certain group to get that ballot from them so that they can fill it out any way they want.
Okay, so back to the DMV, when they fill out a registration form, when somebody fills out a registration form, there is the glaring top question, are you a U.S. citizen, on the top of that form?
That's correct.
Are you saying they're filling out that form, or there's some separate process whereby somebody's being registered?
They're saying that they are citizens.
Okay, so they're lying on the form?
Absolutely.
Okay,
And it seems to me that, quite frankly, anybody who has registered in the last 6 years, because you don't have to go through the whole data bank, but I think in the last 6 years when we've been concerned about who's on our voter rolls and who isn't, that it would be pretty easy to cross-match those with either a federal registry or a state registry that signifies whether somebody is a citizen or not.
Terry, if a person was going to lie to the DMV, why take the time to go to the DMV? If there's some,
Because they need either a driver's license or an ID in order to get a job, in order to come. Mr.
I mean, why not just, if there's some concerted effort, as you say, you have anecdotal evidence to, which is not particularly helpful, Terry, and I know you know that. But nonetheless, you have anecdotal evidence that there is some concerted effort to register people who are not authorized to vote.
Right.
That's a huge problem and something that would alarm all of us. Why would they have to send people to the DMV to register them? Couldn't they just register them themselves if that individual was willing to lie on the application?
Well, if they come into the day of the voting and claim that they're citizens and want to vote, there isn't any way that they can say, excuse me, but you have to prove that you're a citizen.
Okay.
Supervisor Perez,
Okay.
there isn't anything that the federal government, whether it be and the state government, the DMV, or if somebody were to go to the Social Security Administration, they're all encouraged to register people to vote. Sure, on that form, it does say, are you a U.S. citizen? And if they check it yes, who's to check it except for Amy Espinosa?
Well, the Secretary of State is
Well,
my understanding of how that
Your
gets.
elections here in Kern County are run by Amy Espinosa. She has the authority to run those elections any way she wants, and if she wants someone to prove that they're a citizen here, she's within her rights as a election official to require that.
Okay.
The Secretary of State has made it pretty obvious that she has no interest in finding out whether somebody is an actual citizen here or not.
Understood,
We can't turn to her.
I understood. I think I understand your position now better. Again, Terry, if you have evidence or information that is specific.
That's the requirement of this board, and it's the requirement of Amy Espinosa. We're citizens. We vote you in so that you will do that for us, so that you'll put up a sting operation, so you find out, you go to the DMV and say, excuse me, but this person right here just registered to vote. Did you ask them if they're a citizen? And you'll find out, no, I'm sorry, but it's against the law for me to ask them if they're a citizen.
Okay, understood.
Understand the laws that are overseeing our elections, and I think you'll be very surprised at how many people potentially here in Kern County are voting that are not citizens of the United States of America.
Okay, thank you, Terry.
Anytime.
Thank you, Chair.
Who'll be next? Good afternoon, Mr. Fox.
Good afternoon, I'm Dennis Fox, and I got one subject, 2 items. One positive, one negative. The positive,
We might only have time for the positive one today.
it's I'll start with the positive, and that is their cooperative agreement that you have with UC Extension that you're funding on your agenda. And it's can be pretty good because they have grass that they are putting out for the public that uses hardly any water for the lawns. And I suggest that. It would be nice if East Niles, who's putting in an office, would have a sample of that. A lot of water districts do that. More of a negative is the lawsuit that's brought to keep water in the Kern River. Now, the Kern River historically, and I'm talking that way, in my age, it's not historical, it's current events. But the river used to come down, sometimes it didn't. And it hit a swamp. There was nothing but a swamp out here, except for a guy had a lot over here, a couple blocks, named Baker. And it's now a big pond. That pond gets warm. One you see in the Californian Sunday where it flooded Merced. The other thing is when it gets warm, you get disease. Avian cholera, and avian botulism and stuff. So it's something to watch, and I would hope that the state would immediately, when it gets hot, the water, that they would start draining it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fox.
Hello, Board.
Hello.
Pamela Reese, REECE. In case you didn't know, I'd like to talk about rendering unused ballots unusable. Immediately upon the closing of the polls and before any voted ballot is to be counted, we are supposed to, in the presence of anyone in the room, render the unused ballots unusable. There's 3 ways to do this. One is by drawing across its face an X 3 inches or larger, or by tearing or cutting a significant piece of the ballot without entering the serial numbers. Or the third is by placing all of the unused ballots into a special container, a cardboard box, which is what we do now, and seal it, sign it, and the elections official will put it away in the elections office here in the Taj Mahal. However, that's not a very good way to render unused ballots unusable, because they are able to keep these ballots up until 6 years. Ballots may be recycled, 6 months, for 6 months. Why would anyone need to recycle a ballot after an election is over? That's a good question, and I think it should be addressed. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Who'll be next? Sure. It's public statements. There's no order to this, just
Oh, okay.
whoever gets there first.
Hi, my name's Sassy Baltazar. My concern is
Can you spell
the
your first name for us?
CECI.
CECI? Thank you.
My concern is with the upcoming holiday, not tomorrow, but next month, 4th of July, the fireworks. I think those need to be banned because of the way global warming is changing. And we already have a fire down in the Gorman area that's trickling on over to other areas, as well as children getting hurt. So if there were to be a ban, I know there's different pop-ups of the fireworks stands that are getting ready to set up, but I think there's other ways to fundraise in the community. We've seen other ways that people could fundraise, either, selling something to help out, T-shirts, fundraise candy, other things, but fireworks. If we do want to celebrate 4th of July, I know that people could either barbecue, we have parades that we could celebrate, our Independence Day that we have for our country, but children's safety, the polluting of the air is not one of the ways that's going to help out our bad valley air that we know we have. I think, like children in the neighborhood getting a burn of some sort due to the fireworks is not a good thing. Just things to think about of the near future. And the other thing is, my other concern would be hiring more officials in different areas, public works, as well as sheriffs and Bakersfield Police Department, so our streets are safer with all the different things that are occurring on the daily. You turn on the 5 o'clock news, and there's always something that happened. That is not the way our county should be seen. Our streets need to be a lot safer for us and generations to come. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Daniel Rodella, community organizer with CBO Faith in the Valley, constituent of District Number 2. For over a year, we've engaged the Taft community regarding improvement needs at Ford City Park. Hundreds of people have attended town halls and completed needs surveys. Seeing children, youth, adults, and elderly folks involved is very impactful. I thank Jeffrey Hill and Isaac Preston with the County General Services Division for supporting 2 of our community meetings and being open to signing a good faith agreement for us to collaborate on improving this park. In fact, I also thank CAO Elsa Martinez for meeting with a delegation of Faith in the Valley volunteers to listen to our concerns and learn about our priority needs. Supervisor Scrivener was invited twice to our community town halls, but neither him nor any of his staff members were able to make it. I want to emphasize that we need more funding to make up for the years of non-investment at Ford City Park. In fact, we need more investment for other parks in District 2 rural communities like Valley Acres Park, where children and families congregate because parks are sacred spaces to them where they create meaningful memories. And so today, I just want to urge you to keep our community, the 93268, in mind as you make decisions regarding the 2024-2025 county budget. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Abigail Rodella, constituent from District 2. I'm here to make a statement regarding Ford City Park and Valley Acres Park. Good afternoon. I am a community member, youth club director, and volunteer youth community organizer with Faith in the Valley, particularly in the city of Taft. I would like to thank the county for the investments that have been made so far in Ford City Park and Valley Acres Park. I want to urge you all that when you are moving in the process of approving the budget for the upcoming fiscal year, particularly for Parks and Recreation, I want you to think of the long term. meaning future generations and future citizens, and how your actions now will impact them in the future. But not just thinking of the future, but also of the now. Think about health and safety. Think about how parks are safe spaces, environmental sanctuaries, cultural spaces, communal spaces, which we can all, I believe, classify as sacred spaces where people from different backgrounds can thrive together and grow as a community. I am here also on behalf of a group of youth that, due to the time constraints, could not be here to give a statement that they want to give, but they will be here July 29th. James Baldwin once said, "I cannot hear what you say because I see what you do." We as a community hear you, and we continue seeing you act on behalf of our call for more funding for our parks. And we urge you all to act on the community's call for more, for the allocation of more funds for Ford City Park and Valley Acres Park, that we can see you act on this call, and we thank you for your efforts to do this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Buenas tardes, Prudencia Rodela,
Good evening, Prudencia Rodela,
Distrito 2.
District 2.
Yo soy voluntaria de mantener los parques limpios
I'm a volunteer in helping to keep parks clean in my district.
y en el parque de Ford City y Valley Acres caminamos ahí las personas de tercera edad.
And in Ford City Park and Valley Acres Park, folks in the senior citizen age range, we tend to use those parks. We walk there.
Y nos llama la atención pues que no hay agua para tomar allí. A veces uno quiere tomar agua.
We notice that there's no drinking fountains, and sometimes, we get thirsty and we want to drink some water.
Y los baños en muy malas condiciones.
And the restroom is in bad shape.
Y pues he ido a limpiar voluntariamente las mesas, y para cuando voy están, pues allí hacen cosas que pues nos ensucian mucho.
And so I volunteered to go clean up, specifically like tables, picnic tables and whatnot, but as you can imagine, sometimes they end up dirty pretty quick. Who knows what they do there?
Y pues el que a veces nos encontramos personas que hacen el jardín, pero dicen, pues no hay dinero, yo lo único que hago es darle una limpiadita, nada más, necesitamos más dinero.
And so, sometimes we encounter folks at the park and we see that there are needs and we're told that there's not enough funding to make changes.
Pues es todo, gracias.
Well, thank you very much. That's it.
Thank you.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Guillermina Huizar.
Good evening. My name is Guillermina Huizar.
Soy del Distrito 2.
I'm from District 2.
Por 24 años yo he estado en Taft viviendo y
For 24 years, I lived in Taft, and I've been wanting this to happen.
me involucro más con los niños. Y
I'm really involved with children.
desde que tuvimos al señor Isaac Preston en el pueblo,
Since Isaac Preston came to visit us in Taft,
los niños me han preguntado
children have asked me,
que qué pasó con el señor que fue a hacer una promesa para nuestro parque.
what has happened to the promise that has been made for our park?
Es difícil explicar todo lo que siento, lo que me dicen, pero ellos tienen una ilusión.
It's a little tough to be able to expand on what I'm feeling right now, but I can tell you that our children have a hope.
Y por favor, les pido que no nos olviden
And I just want to ask you, please don't forget us
y olviden a nuestros niños porque
or our children.
nosotros somos de Ford City y Ford City siempre me han dicho los niños, ¿por qué este parque siempre está triste?
And I live in Ford City, and so, kids ask me continuously, why is it that this park is the only one that looks so sad?
Pero hoy que hemos tenido las juntas y que ha estado el Señor con nosotros, Isaac Preston,
But now that we've had these committee meetings and Isaac Preston has joined us,
tenemos una ilusión
we have a hope
para nuestros niños que viven a este lado del parque, para este lado de la ciudad de Fort City.
For the kids that live in our community in
Por
Fort
favor,
City.
ustedes pueden preguntar al señor Preston cómo estaban los niños felices cuando él estuvo ahí con nosotros.
And you can chat with Isaac Preston and ask him what he saw when he saw the community gather and the smiles on the kids' faces.
So, por favor, no nos olviden.
So please don't forget
Ya
us.
empezamos y vamos a luchar por nuestros niños.
We started and we're going to continue fighting for our kids.
Muchas gracias
Thank
a
you
cada
very
uno
much.
de ustedes.
To each and every one of you.
Thank you very much.
Camila Rodella, District 2. Good afternoon. I'm here to make a statement about Ford City Park and Valley Acres Park.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch her. Can you say your name again, please?
Camila Rodella.
Thank you.
I want to thank the people who put their time into helping fix the park. But Ford City Park isn't the only park that needs help cleaning or fixing. Valley Acres Park doesn't have a bathroom or a water fountain that works or any adult swings. But thank you for fixing Ford City Park. Thank you.
Thank you for coming down here today. Any other public presentations? Seeing none, I'll go to item 2, which is board member announcements and reports. Supervisor Peters.
Thank you, Chairman Couch. I just wanted to call back to an item that we had on the consent agenda, which is item 3, and that's zoning for a dog park up in Kernville. And I see some of our folks that have been working hard on this project. I think it's going to be a really good thing for the community, and I just wanted to give them an opportunity to share anything that they might want to. Don't want to put you on the spot. Don't feel obligated, but if you wanted to share any info on it or what the plans are or share something for the community, just want to give you the opportunity.
My name is Gary Nanian. I'm with Kern River Conservancy, and this is Robbie Miller with SOS Dog Rescue. We're both located in the Kern River Valley. We're here because we're building a dog park. Kernville and the Kern River Valley is a very small area. Not a lot of county-owned parcels are up there for us to have more parks. So the Chamber of Commerce in Kernville has a 30-acre area called the Kernville Recreation Park, and on this property, we had some areas that we reserved to build a dog park. And so we ran for Whiskey Flat Mayor 2 years ago, and we raised enough money to have this park built. So here we are after about a year working with the planning department, going back and forth on permits and applications. We're finally here to get this thing approved and move forward with building a dog park for our community.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you guys. I appreciate all the stuff you guys do for the community up there, and I'm excited for this dog park. I think it's going to be a good thing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peters.
Thank you guys for coming today. Supervisor Perez, you had a comment?
Thank you, Chairman. Hats off to you. What incredible community organizing for your dog park. I think that is really righteous. It really speaks to the strength and the health of your community if you can organize around a goal that way and then see it to fruition. So hats off to you, Peters. You got some good folks making things happen there with the partnership, of course. But I wanted to say to the D2 residents that were here today, what an incredibly powerful presentation that you've made. I think it was very effective and just very, very well done. I want you to know that in the absence of your supervisor, the people up here heard you. We will be fair to you. I know our Parks Department will be fair to you. This is an unusual time for Kern County, but we're a remarkable family. And coming here and advocating the way you have, and particularly how effective you are, I think is just really, really good and very promising. And our Parks Department and Jeff and ICE, those guys, they're going to do the best they can. I have every confidence of that. That the four of us up here are going to, work hard to make sure that D2 is not neglected. And I give you my word to that. So thank you. I think you were very effective today, and I really loved seeing the little muchacha down here. It'll be fun to see what she becomes. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys for being here today. Any other, we're on board member announcements and reports. Seeing none. The next item we have is 29. Items 29 and 30 are not on the consent calendar, and I'll read those. We can hear those concurrently, but we have to vote separately. Item 29 is the plan specifications and notice for contractors for Fellows Park Tot Lot Improvement Project number 1966.8117.21F, and 30 is the plan specifications and notice to contractors for Camp Condor Water System Improvement Project number 1966.8113.21. Mr. Hill.
Jeffrey Hill, Chief General Services Officer, Chairman Couch, members of the board. I'm here again to briefly present some continued good news for improvements at our parks. Items 29 and 30, as you just said before you, are the request to approve the plans and specifications for the two projects, the Fellows Tot Lot Waterline Replacement, Tot Lot and Waterline Replacement, and the Camp Condor Waterline Improvements. This satellite shot shows the project location of Fellows. It's, for some of you who don't know, Fellows is a small community north of Taft and west of Highway 33 off of Mocal Road. This indicates there's some existing facilities there, existing restroom, some ADA parking, and it shows a tot lot there as well. This project, construction estimate is $616,900. Its funding source is not general fund, it's American Rescue Plan Act money. The scope of the work is to construct new accessible parking and path of travel, as you just saw, and install 2 new age 2 through 12 play equipment and pour-in-place surfacing. We're also going to construct a new water line with water meter. Originally, we were unaware that the water had been cut to that facility, but we've had to add it as part of the project. It's as you've heard, it's difficult to have a park without some water. So, if your board approves this plans and specs today, bid opening will be in July, contract award in August, and an anticipated construction start will be in November. The delay to this is what we're seeing related to the delays for equipment, tot lot equipment, restroom equipment, that kind of thing, with anticipated completion in February of 2025. On to Camp Condor. Due to this gives you an indication, if you don't know where Camp Condor is, it's up by 5. It's on the border of our county. It was originally a mountain camp. We have 3 mountain camps. Camp Condor is one, but it has been unusable because of the water spring that fed it dried up. That also impacted the school sort of adjacent to the current property. They're having to ship water in for their operations. This project, Peak to Peak Charter School is the name of the school that's adjacent to Camp Condor. The solution has been long coming. We need to dig a well, to drill a well. We need to put up a storage tank, a chlorination system, and new piping. That will supply both Camp Condor and reestablish it as a viable camp, as well as provide water to Peak Charter School. So they'll stop operating sort of in an emergent fashion related to water. Currently, a test well is being drilled to confirm capacity and water quality. Once confirmed, the well will be converted to a permanent supply well. Upon completion of these improvements, Camp Condor water system will be reactivated with the Department of Water Resources. These slides just show you both where the park is, as well as some of the test well activities. This is a schematic drawing showing where the well will be in relation to other parts of the park. This is also American Rescue Plan Act money, and its current estimate is $1,615,500. That includes the cost of the well. The work includes equipping the water well with electric service, pump, pre-engineered shed for chlorination equipment, $120,000 or 120,000 gallon bolted steel water tank for storage and fire protection, 2 booster pumps to protect enclosures at the tank sites, or in protective enclosures, fire water lines, 3 hydrants, meter distribution, and electrical switch gear. It's a significant project. It's a lot of money, but it will benefit both the county. From a revenue perspective, we'll be able to open the camp back up and begin to provide an amenity at a cost. If your board approves the plans and specs today, we will open bids in June, award in August, and begin working in August with completion of the project in January. We have been permitted for this well through environmental health, and so provided all the bids come back in good shape, we'll be on our way. So that's it for this part. I would like to make a couple comments about Mr. Rodello's presentation. We work with them and have been working with them well in the past 3 or 4 months. Carl, before him, worked with Daniel and the Faith of the Valley group as well, and we're happy with what we see. They are an organization that has signed an Adopt a Park agreement and are working, I think, at least two cleanups or 2 events a month. So they're a good community partner for us out in Fellows, or excuse me, in Ford City. The contract for the splash pad has been issued. That is work that is going on or is starting, and we have money set aside for restroom improvements as well. So I'm sure of whether or not the drinking fountain is a part of that. Further, we've replaced LED lights, replaced with LED some lights in the park, and some other sort of smaller incidental work. So we're doing everything we can with the funds that we have. So that's the end of my planned comments for those 2 projects, and recommended that your board act on staff's recommendations, and I'm available for any questions you may have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hill. Is there anyone here that would like to make a public comment on either items 29 or 30 that you just heard about? Seeing none, I'll return it to the board. And Supervisor Perez, you have a comment, or is that from before? Okay. This is both in District 2. Make a motion on staff's recommendation for. We have to vote, move on these separately. So your motion is on item 29.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We have a second.
Yeah, second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved, 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Scrivener.
Okay, on to item 30, we need something similar to what you just did.
Move approval.
Okay. Can I second?
Second.
Supervisor Flores seconded. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved, 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Scrivener.
Okay, that takes us to the end of the afternoon agenda. I had one comment before we adjourn, and that was we had a very prominent member of Kern County named Dick Rattan, passed away recently, and they had a memorial service, I believe, on Saturday. So I'd like, if we could, to adjourn today's meeting in his memory and send a letter like we normally do to his family. So I need a motion to adjourn to Tuesday.
Nope, to closed session.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're adjourning to closed session. You're right. Do we have to come back after that?
No.
Okay, so how do we adjourn to Tuesday, June 25th at 9 a.m. if we don't come back?
The record will reflect that.
Okay, thank you. We're adjourned. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming today.